Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. It's good. Oh, am I clear? Can you hear game audio, everything else perfectly?
Hopefully.
Let me get confirmation before we start chatting rubbish. We missed this entire qualifying session, but that's a bit of a shame. Can you invite
Ja.
a up? I can for sure. Perfect. It's
Hij is
good.
at the
Okay,
moment
good.
on pole position.
Well, that's a bit of a misstart right there from us. I do apologize for the audio setting. This is the first time I've actually started streaming um, for this game. Normally I do have it well set up, but your voice is louder than the cars. Okay, I'll. Okay,
Archer
that's.
Aldini improving by 4 tenths at the moment. Going through the second sector. See what he can do. He'll probably get something like P4 if he can improve through the last sector as well. Ooh, he has a massive snap. Oh, he spins over the line. That's a shame. Renzo improving by a tenth. Also, now it's Zabi going over the line anytime.
Okay, is the mic good? Okay, lowered audio a bit. Do apologize for this, guys. All's good to stream. Okay, always good to stream. There we go. We can finally
Can you hear
start.
me as well?
Yes, from Zach, they told me audio is now fine. Just had to do a quick restart. Well, uh, hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Of course, a bit of a misstart, to say the least, with us starting at the end of the qualifying instead of at the beginning of qualifying. Hopefully, audio is good. Hopefully, I'm not too loud. Same for Seep, who's joined me for the first time as commentator today here. Welcome to the stream or to the commentary box. Seep, how are you?
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, I just watched good qualifying. Zabi 3 tenths quicker than Frankus, and Lars seem to be kind of dominated at the moment. But yeah, I'm having a good time. First time ever commentating. Yeah, because I switched to wheel, I'm just doing a bit of commentary on here right now. Yeah, hopefully it will be good.
Perfect. For the first time, I think you're doing fine. The race is always, of course, the main part of the event, and we're looking forward to the social race. We've got NLR, like you said, from Seep's perspective, dominating already. They are first to fifth, so they actually dominate qualifying literally. With IRT also, ourselves in sixth, and then we've got ASAC and RCR. Also participating today, RCR both 2 cars in the top 10 and only one ASAC car in the 10 in P7 with Florian right there in P7. We've got, thankfully for the race, dry conditions, which always glad to see that. Yeah, always glad to see dry conditions, way better than, of course, wet conditions we had. So this will spice the race for sure. It will be a standard one stop, usually a medium hard or hard medium strategy, since the soft tires won't last that much. Yeah, so it will be a pretty good Grand Prix right here with a mixed up grids, and the race always brings up more spectacular battles in the race. So, what are your predictions for the race, Seep?
Yeah, and Lars seem to be quite strong at the moment. I hope they won't drive too far away, that we still have a good battle for the lead. But yeah, I definitely expect a good race. I think strategy is going to be a big part here. Maybe the softs is a viable option now because they have completely new fresh softs, which they haven't used in qualifying, they're used in the race now. So it might spice things up a little bit. But yeah, I hope we can have a good race.
Exactly. I should look forward to a good race. I think with all the teams participating, we should be looking forward to some exciting battles and generally better driving compared to the first couple of weeks. Of course, everyone has been out for, if you calculate, for 3 weeks now because the game got released on
Yep.
the 13th or the 14th. Am I right?
13th.
Yeah, the 13th. So the game has been out for 22 days, so the drivers are starting to adapt to the game better and learning more about setups. That's something we try to learn as well, IT wise, and I think other teams are doing that as well. So should be looking forward to an exciting Grand Prix with more speed, but generally more consistency from the drivers here. This is a no assist lobby. The settings are all to no assist, so all the drivers need to learn their braking mark and where to brake and just be aware of other cars. That will make it a bit tricky for other cars. Um, to be aware of each other. We're just waiting for other drivers to be ready. Formation lap is off, however, so yeah, formation lap is off, so we will start straight away once the drivers are ready. I'm not sure why we are waiting still. Hopefully no restart. We do have the results on stream, at least like top 11. We can always ask another driver for a for the grid right here.
I think I got the whole grid. I think I scrolled down.
Appreciate it, Seep. So we can sort out. I'm not sure why I'm waiting so long, but anyway, I was talking about formation lap. Formation lap is turned off because there are some glitches right now to the game. Doesn't surprise me at all, to say the least. And yeah, hopefully we can have some clean start, and hopefully these glitches will be fixed as soon. We're just waiting for the start of the Grand Prix. I'm not sure what is going on right now, but for all the indeed. And finally, the countdown is going down right now. So the start, we are starting because I do hear the counter. So, and there we go. We are starting with 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, and 5 lights. And lights out, away we go. It looks to be a decent start there for Sabi right there. Both cause a bit glitchy right there, but good start overall from all the NLR guys, keeping both all the top 5 positions so far safe here, with a bit of a chaos happening in the midfield right there. But NLR look quite good, but actually it's an IT car looks like, and then Mango make contact with each other, so that means both cars are at the back of the field right there, and Smallyball's fairly letting Mango go through, so owning up to his mistake, which is always glad to see there. But NLR do have a decent start apart from that little incident there in turn 3 right there, but overall clean start right there. Florian gaining 2 positions from P7 up to P5 right there, and more cars making mistakes with Dari now to back field, with Supermax also now back right there, and Dari even making more mistakes right there, now a couple of seconds behind the pack right there, but it looks to be a fairly clean start from what I've seen in most races right there. So and NLR leading the pack right there with another retirement right there, with Taupe is out of the Grand Prix right there. Mango having a 5-second penalty, and this brings out the virtual safety car right there. So Taupe couldn't last, unfortunately, more than a lap right there, and this brings out the virtual safety car. Mango losing a front wing right there, so thankfully there's the virtual safety car for him.
I think they both made contact.
Apparently they may both make contact with each other. AJ Wuhan also going into the pit, so he must have picked up damage right there. He was in P10, so gained some positions. He must have gained some positions right there. Yeah, go on, Seep.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest start from what I've seen. I think Small Balls outbroke himself into turn 1, and he took out 2 cars with him, which were Mango and I think it was ASEC Supermax, if I'm right. And yeah, later on the lap, saw another few mistakes, sadly. But yeah, hopefully they can recover now. Unfortunately, Toop's out of the race, but hopefully we can have a good second half of the race.
Indeed, we're going for a good restart right there. The photo state car still out there, so that means drivers have to slow down there up to a certain speed right there. There's actually a lead, Adelini in fifth place right now. Not sure where he came from there, but it looks to be pretty decent start there from RCR with all the drivers now within the top 10 right there, apart from Loak there. So pretty decent start there, right behind NLR right there. Also, you have green flag condition right there. Here in lap 2, what can NLR do right there? Alindini looks pretty racy at the moment. On those soft tires, interesting. Let me get the graph right up right there on which tires everyone is on. He is the only one on the soft tires and it's really paying difference right there. With actually him making contact there with Gijs. And Gijs running by now and lost a couple of positions right now. Down to P7 right there. Now there's another car going down the inside. Archer looking pretty racy right now. Pretty dangerous to be honest, if I have to say so myself, and not really paying aware to the positions and not really growing into the race right there. But he has gained. This means Florian has actually gained 2 positions from it, who was on the hard tires right there. Gijs getting a position to Alindini, who actually I think just let him through right there. Bit of a squeeze right there in sector 3. Kind of fortunate. Deer is now enabled right there, so he's probably going for the move once again, using a bit of ERS right there, and now back up to P5 right there. Hopefully they can catch up to Florian right there, who's up to P4 of course. Pretty decent start there from him. And Gijs just boxed in between all these RCR cars, who are all battling with each other right there, and all the time they're losing. It's just allowing the top 3 and 4th car to pull away right there. So not really good racecraft right there from the start, but all the NLR cars using their good qualifying position to full effect right there. Being first, second and third, and unfortunately Mango having a collision with Smolly Balls right there, and Gijs being squeezed out a bit there unfortunately. But hopefully he can gain some positions later on.
Aladini going on Florian. Good move. Making full use of the soft tires, of course, was a very good option because we had a wet qualifying, which means that they have fresh sets of softs for the race, which they can use, which makes it a little bit better option. They could drive a few more laps now in the race. Yeah, it's making full use of it. It's going now to rest by, and let's see what it can do further into the race.
Let's see how long the soft tires actually last right there. Of course, soft tires are gonna be very good tire in the first 5 laps, but then afterwards those tires will really start to fade away right here. So it's gonna be interesting to see what tires, how the soft tires last right there. Is he gonna go on a set of medium tires after this, or actually in a set of hard tires? I see Resva actually moving up his position now, passing his teammate Frankis right there, up to 2nd place right there, and playing a careful game right there. They know they have got the advantage from the cars behind, with Mango now taking the fast lap, trying to catch up to the back of the field right here. But NLR do have good advantage right there, being first, second and third, and really just pulling away from the rest of the pack right there. So they can just play a careful game right there, and let all these cars try to catch up and use most of the tires here. If you look further down the back of the field, we see Isaac Lapis actually unfortunately disconnect once again. Had some issues early on in the session as well, so that means he's now down to P13 actually, with Smolly Balls now being overtaking Lapa right there. So unfortunately for him, he must have practiced a bit, so that's a shame for him. With actually Gijs now moving up to P6 once again, passing Lorenzinho now for that P6 spot. We've got a mix of strategy right there, only one car on the soft tires, but then the rest of the field here on the medium, on the hards of course. I think it's 7 cars at the moment on the mediums and the rest on the hard tires. So all those cars on the hard tires are going to be very competitive later on in the race, as they'll usually pick a set of medium tires, and they will be really quick and competitive on that set of tires. What have you learned so far about a tire drop-off and undercut so far on this game, Seep?
Well, basically, the start of the stint is very OP on this game. And yeah, you'll quickly realize as well, then after a few laps you'll be hitting a cliff, so your tires will be getting a lot slower. And yeah, if you're talking about the undercuts, it's very OP this game, so people who will pit early will have a massive advantage at start. But like I said, if they pit early, they'll have a little bit less, or well, more tire at the end of the race. And people with fresh tires will come back as well, so you generally have more battles during a race because of this. And yeah, it mixes up everything, but it makes it more enjoyable to watch races at least.
Yeah, for us commentators, it makes more of an exciting battle right there. And looks like the soft tires are already starting to fall off a bit, as Ali Nidini is already lost a second compared to Frankis right there. Of course, it's not easy to catch up to the NLR guys who are really competitive, but the drop off on those soft tires are look to be massive right there. So I presume Alidini is gonna go for a set of hard tires after this. Look how much under he actually completely missed the apex right there, and he's got about 6 cars behind him, all trying to gain as many positions as possible, with Gijs now being overtaken once again for that P6 spot. These guys are switching positions left, right and center right there, but they're just all stuck behind P4, so they can't really do much. They have to be patient for the moment as they're very close off contact right there, nearly banging wheels right there, which most likely would have caused a spin right there, but they didn't, thankfully, and all cars stay safe as fuck. So actually going down the inside, both actually Gijs track slamming a bit right there, making a slight contact, now going side by side into Maggots, and now Beckett, and then Chapo afterwards, but both drivers actually surviving now. Some sort of clean racing, but Gijs having used a bit of the track there. Hopefully he didn't pick up a warning right there, else would have been a bit unfair there, but it looks like Alidini is losing quite a few positions, actually moving down the straight a bit, and then another car going down the inside. Gijs really being pushed off by all these RCR cars right there. A bit of unfair drive. I see their front wing flying right there. Not sure whose front wing that is, but it looks like Drizzy's front wing has flown off a bit. It looks like his right end plate is off, as he caught the footage right there of the bit of the front wing flying off right there. Bit of interesting driving stance, say the least, right there, with many drivers not giving each other much room and nearly banging wheels many times. Um, with them being so close on track right there. So if you have some track position, of course you're gonna have a way better race than these guys in the midfield. We've got yellow flags in sector 3 right there with I think on the main straight it looks like Darius unfortunately spun right there, losing the car right there. IRT looking to have a difficult race right there with Smolly Balls trying to gain as many positions as possible, but Echewuhan, Dari struggling right now in terms of pace, and Topa outside the points. Actually, DNF, of course.
They're going side by side to cops. Oh, very close. Oh, there's a spin. Oh, someone spins.
And there is the contact between Losorino and Gijs. It looks like Sebas commentating a bit over that, but looks like Losorino has actually, it's actually Loa who spun. I do apologize. No, actually, both cars have spun. I'm not sure what I'm doing, to be fair, but Losorino has actually made contact right there with Gijs. Both cars not really giving each other much room. They were battling for lap 2 onwards, and unfortunately the contact was there afterwards. Bit of a shame right there for Losorino. But the advantage is that the soft runner is still out there, and actually is creating such havoc for the cars behind. He's actually starting to pull away a bit. As we say, he's actually off track right there with Mango picking up a penalty right there. Alidini really struggling on that set of tires. I'm not sure why he is staying out. Probably staying out as much as possible to use the best of those soft tires and not having to do as many laps on the hards here. But it is clearly not working out for him because he's losing so much time to the leaders right there. So got more yellow flags with Mango and Dari. Dari again for another spin, unfortunately, in the last sector. Proved to be really struggling on that set of tires, unfortunately. But if you go back to the battle for 4th place right there, Alindini is just losing so much time right there, but just understeering off track. Those soft tires must be dying right now. It's just a big shame for him. As he had a decent start there, but just using too much of the tires. Another bad lap actually, as both NLR cars are now actually battling with each other for the lead right there. They don't have to take the risk, but they're still battling on track right here. To get as much time as possible, you DRS training each other here. And again, Alindini is not going into the pit, so he thinks he can stretch those soft tires longer. So it wouldn't surprise me if one of the medium cars, like Axel or Gijs, is actually going into the pits for an undercut right there to to jump Alindini and clear them of DRS, because they're losing just so much time currently.
Yeah, another reason why he might be staying out is because to keep the other drivers behind him. Of course, he will have the undercut because he'll be probably going one of the first ones going to pits anyway. Yeah, with the undercut, he'll probably stretch a little bit away from the guys. And yeah, that will just a soft start was a very good option for him because now he's ahead of all the cars, which if he didn't start on the soft, he would be behind maybe. So yeah, I understand why he went for softs, and he will be looking forward to the end of the race when I think he'll be holding up the chain for the rest of the race while he can.
Indeed, indeed. Good information right there. So we got a second retirement there. It's an IRT car by Dari, who looked like has had a difficult race right there, especially in the final sector, which caused him to retire there into the pits, unfortunately. So that means only 16 cars left on the grid right there. Will we see another pits right there? Actually, Gijs lost DRS. He made the overtake on Cario, I think. And now lost ground to Florian right there, who's really close to the back of Dini right there. So not sure what's going on with Gijs' space, but he seems to be struggling a bit. And he's still not going into the pit, so he's trying to stretch these tires a bit longer here. Looks like the mediums are falling off a bit now, and the soft tires actually working a bit better now, because Alindini is not losing as much time as he was on previous laps, so he's found some pace on those tires once again, which is a bit of a surprise. Didn't really suspect that one here. And all the time these cars are battling, they are allowing Smolly Balls and maybe Lorenzo to catch up once again right here. But interesting race so far as we nearly approach halfway here. Because we're on lap 10 right now here, with all the NLR cars leading the pack right here. Well, 3 of the NLR cars leading the pack right there. I see a slight oversteer moment right there from Stasby, but they are quite comfortable out front right there, ahead of Alindini. Florian in 5th place had a good start, started in P7 and now up to P5 and battling for that P4 spot. And he is on the hard tires, so if he can overtake Alindini right there, then he's got good shape, and hopefully he can start gaining some time to those NLR cars, because he's on hard tires and 2 of those NLR cars on the medium. So it's opportunities to overtake Alindini right there, which he's probably going to do right now with a bit of ERS and DRS right there around the outside, giving each other enough room. But Alindini really defending well right there and still not going into the pit, so he's nearly stretching those tires 11 laps right there, or actually 10 laps. But Florian's finally got the move done, and this allows other cars to overtake him as well. But no, Alindini is not done yet. He's standing inside in the final turn right there and has got the move done, and Alindini is still in P4. What incredible racing we saw right there. Good move right there. His tires must be absolutely falling off, but he's certainly giving it is all.
Yeah, him staying out still bunches up the pack. Well, the pack has been dropping a little bit, but by them battling, they caught up again. Yeah, of course, still I expect him to be the first one to pit. And when he pits, he's basically on the same strategy as the medium guys. He might even go to mediums. We don't know, because his tire life seems to be very good at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go indeed on a set of medium tires, because why would you stretch these soft tires for so long to not go on a set of medium tires right there? But he's defending really well right there, and even though he's losing a lot of time to those NLR cars, he's doing really well in terms of battling and not really using that much ERS. He's still got 40% ERS pretty much left, so he's got more than the cars behind. Actually, Cario's got 65%, but Gijs got less ERS than him, so he's not really that he's using a lot of ERS right there. We did manage to see Smolly Balls go into the pits right there, so he is the one to go for an undercut right there. But actually, if we go to undercut right now, Sasby, of course, from the lead goes into the pits right there from those medium tires. AJ1 picking up 3-second penalty right there, down in P14 right now, so tough race for him right now. He's about 2.4 seconds behind the car ahead. Hopefully he can catch up a bit. And Sasby is picking up a set of hard tires with Axel actually retiring on the main straight, and
Oh,
that brings out
safety
a
car.
safety car. A safety car's come out right now with Axel retiring in the final sector right now, going into the gravel right there and losing it on the main straight right there. So that is our third retirement, and this will spice up the Grand Prix right there. And this is literally the worst timing for Sasby to make a pit right there, as all these cars like Recify, Frankes, Florian, Alindini will have a free pit stop right now and will most likely jump ahead of him, which is a disaster for him. So Alindini actually, by staying out that long, has managed to gain some position from it. So that's actually very interesting to see right there. Most of the cars now making a pit stop right there, like Drizzy, AJ Wuhan, and Mango, all putting on a set of medium tires right there. Lapa's actually put on a set of hard tires, but of course his AI is driving, so can't really take that seriously. And shame for Smolly Balls is he's behind the AI car of Lap, so that means he will lose so much time behind the AI car. Um that he cannot use the undercut moment right there. So all the time he tried to gain, he's gonna lose again. And if you go quickly involved to the leaders once again, you see both cars going into the race right now. Of course, behind the safe car, it's a free stop, so it doesn't surprise me that they go into the pits. And actually, cars going side by side. Alini Dini speeding in the pit lane right there. Tried to overtake Florian into the pit right there and paying the difference for it. As he's got a 5-second penalty right now. This will ruin his race. All the great defending he did, well, it's been pretty much ruined right now, as the cars will bunch up together now, and he'll have 8 seconds of penalties here. So that's a bit of a disaster for him right there, but hopefully he can serve it now into the pits, or just try to pull away from the cars behind here. And as we see, Resvai has taken the lead right there. With that pit stop under the safety car, Sasby has lost 2 positions behind the safety car period right now, which is such a shame for him. And all the time they gained, they will lose with all those cars behind. Really putting on some interesting battle to say the least, not giving each other much room right there. So hopefully they'll keep it clean with other cars in battle right there.
Yeah, one thing I have also noticed is that Small Balls pitted 1 lap before the safety car came out. He was driving a very good race from the back of the grid when he had the incident first lap. But yeah, he pitted 1 lap too early, and now he has lost quite a few positions, which I think he is the biggest loser of this safety car. Chabi had a big enough lead to at least come out in P3 again, but he will have 1 lap all the tires than everyone else around him. So yeah, but apart from that, the order stayed a little bit the same. Only lost again. Oh yeah, Aladini had a 5-second penalty, so he will have to even bigger defending and also pull away now if you want to keep the position.
Exactly right there. Is the only one with 8-second penalties here. Lorak has got 3-second penalties now in P8 for RCR, and then we've got AJ Wuhan and Mango, both with 3-second penalties right there. But the rest of the field has been relatively clean right there in terms of warnings right there. This track isn't the easiest in terms of track limits, especially exit of cops right there. Most cars love to track extend there slightly, but it is of course a very tricky turn and a very difficult circuit in terms of track limits right there. Not as difficult as Austria as we saw in real life, but it's still not an easy circuit to get right in terms of track limits here. But all the drivers seem to be doing pretty well there at the moment, so yeah, hopefully they can keep that up, because if some driver does pick up a penalty, for example like Supermax, will gain 2 positions alone if it stays like this, just because of penalties. So it does make a huge difference to not pick up any penalties here. And of course this is a social race, so it won't matter that much. But if it's a league race, you can gain so many points for your team or for an individual championship right there. So it does make a huge it does play a huge factor not picking up any penalties and being consistent on track and keep it within the white lines.
Yeah, of course, safety car now. We'll wait for the action to get back on the way. Yeah, I hope the pack can stay a little bit more together than we had the first half of the race. NLR driving away. I hope the people behind them can put up a little bit more of a battle to have an even more exciting race. But NLR seems to be very strong at the beginning of the season of league racing. Yeah, they've performed very well. Also driving against them, they've really improved from last game, I would say. Working really well together. You can only praise them for what they've done right now.
Yeah, I think NLR, of course, a very strong team, have been for quite a while. Really one of the top teams within F1 esports. And the way that they've built up their team as the safeguards actually coming in this lap right here. NLR has really progressed really well, scouted well, and have got a really good main team and, of course, a development team, as they like to call it, right there. And by the looks, how they're controlling this race, it sums up well. But of course, this safeguard could spice it up here with Resify controlling the pack right there. He can control the pace until the start-finish line right there. As actually Lab has managed to rejoin the session right there with the safeguard restart here. Hopefully he can regain control of his car. As Resify has gone with a pretty good restart right there. As you've going for lap 15 of this British Grand Prix right there. Some incident at the back of the field here with some cars maybe slowing up a bit, unfortunately. But NLR have got a really good restart with there. With Smalley Boss actually picking up 5-second penalty, and shame for Drizzy was probably overtaking the ghost car there of a lap right there. Which is quite unfortunate, but Resify's got a really good safeguard restart. Look how far he's pulled away from his teammates right there, and Sasby is used to be really close to Frankis as well there. So, and now I've got a good restart, but battling with each other as well, and not really major position changes happening right here. With Aldegar just staying position here, with ASAC gaining some positions, with Florian and Cario and Supermax now all in the top 10 right there. So if they can move up a couple of positions, they can maybe potentially challenge NLR, but that's a very difficult task for any team to do so. Of course, they are starting to pull away a bit, but Aladini actually doing pretty well to stick with the NLR guys. He's on a medium tire, so he's using that set to full effect right there. Using a bit of ERS there. Maybe looking for a move right there, but couldn't make it stick. Florian can't really manage to stick with Aladini right there. They losing the DRS window right there, but fairly clean result at the moment.
Yeah, we also have to mention that two of the NLR guys are on hards, and most of the guys behind them are on mediums. So at least at the beginning of this new stint, they will be pushing them hard. Later in the stint, they might pull away again because hards are way more durable than the medium tires. But for now, we hope we can see some battling at the front here.
Oh, with AJ1 actually having a spin right there. We mentioned quickly go on board with him. He broke a bit too late right there and making contact with Mango right there. And some dirt on his tires there, but that will really set his progress back. With a lap actually going into the pit right there. That's him taking on his car. Not sure what happened to him, but it looks like he's going to be back of the field if no incidents happen or no safe car anymore. But that's a shame for AJ Wuhan, just seems to be a bit too aggressive right there and not really paying difference to the cars behind. Smalley was not really using those hard tires to full effect. The hard tires look pretty well and pretty racy at the moment, but he seems to be struggling a bit right there. But there's still 10 laps to go, so he might be outside the DRS window of the cars ahead, and Mango might be trying to overtake him, but he'll come back later on in the race. Once those medium tires start to drop off a bit, which looks to be around lap 22, lap 23, they usually start really just dropping off right there. As DRS is enabled after the safeguard period right there. Lovely switch back there right there from Mango, getting past Smalley Balls right, actually forcing a bit wide right there, but going side by side into turn 1 right there. Woo, healed, and that looks to be neither drivers, actually both drivers tried to go to turn one side by side with there, which isn't really done before. I think in F1, I don't think many drivers are would do that because it just was not an easy turn to get right, especially going side by side into turn one. But Smalley Boss tried to use a bit of the track and actually went onto the grass, but Mango's got the move stick right there. If you go quickly on board with other cars right there, Florian is falling outside the 1 second window of Alinidini, who's got really good pace at the moment, trying to overtake Saspi right there. Really a strong race so far from him. Shame about the penalties though, but he's driving a solid race right there for RCR. Really is really high up, and actually he's going for the move right there. No, he doesn't. Saspi have to use a bit of ERS right there, but actually Gijs going down the inside of two cars right there because he was in P7. Now side by side with the other car right there on the inside of the final turn, making contact with each other, but Gijs got a move stick right there, getting two moves done at the same time. So what a move there from Gijs on those hard tires. He's got a really good race at the moment right there, and getting two moves done. Hopefully he can overtake Aline Dean right now, or at least catch up to him. But hopefully, he can clear those cars behind.
Loke went down the inside the carrier into turn one, so it's possible to overtake there. He overtakes Florian now as well. So both AC cars seems to be dropping 2 places right now in the space of around 1 lap. And yeah, let's see what Gijs and Loke can do. Maybe they can catch up to Aledini. We'll have to see.
We have to see indeed, but looks to be a bit of a struggle, of course. DRS is, of course, making a massive difference right there, but if those medium tires start falling off, then you can you really use those tires to full effect right there. But having to defend against all these medium runs is very tough as well, as they look very raced at the moment. But it was a lovely move right there. Unfortunately, Smalley Boss picking up a penalty in P13. Losarinho also picking up a penalty right now. So that will gain some time to Supermax. Actually, Francis now, we're actually going side by side. Oh my goodness, both analog drivers make contact with each other right there. So Saspi has actually spun, and this is exactly what analog didn't need right there. We warned them about it, and now Saspi is all the way down in P7 right now, making a double move actually right now, so up to P5 once again. But Frankis and Saspi making contact with each other right now in, I think that's Lovefield? No, that's not Lovefield. I do apologize. I should know the corner name, but hey ho. Saspi now going down the Stowe, thank you. Oh my goodness, that was so bad, but doesn't matter. And Law drives going side by side, Gijs and Saspi. Yeah, but that's not really what and Law wants right there, with the drivers making contact with each other, especially with the race they've had early on right there. They were just controlling the pace right there, and now making contact with each other. Sums up that the cars on the side, and now picking up a penalty right there. Frank is picking up a penalty, so Saspi will gain from that, Gijs will gain that. But also Cario, if these cars will start catching up to the top 3 right there. So this race is really starting to spice up. The safety cars really open up this race.
Yeah, unfortunately that Zabi dropped down, although he's gaining position back already, doing very good job there to recover at least. But now we have Aladini versus Frankis and Reservoir. He's very close to Frankis, so he might go for overtake soon. Has got not much ERS left though, while Frankis has got 40% ERS. But yeah, if he can overtake Frankis somehow, then you might have a go at Reservoir. Also, Reservoir maybe will be playing tactics with Frankis to maybe help him with DRS, so we have to see.
Yeah, there might be, say, a Somali boss has retired into the pits, unfortunately, and Florian has also retired, and this brings out another safety car right there. So Somali boss unfortunately retired at the wrong time right there, which has brought out to our 4th and 5th retirement right there. It's actually good for lap right there. We will catch up to the back of the field right now. But this, all the cars with penalties will have a disaster right there. Also only 7 laps to go because it's lap 20 right now. So there's 7 laps to go right there. So all the cars without the penalty will have a huge advantage against the rest of the field. And this is terrible for Alinidini, who was clear the DRS of the cars behind. And now we'll have every single car like Sasbi, Gijs, Cario, all trying to push and try to overtake him. And who's gonna make a pit stop under the safety car? What will NLR do from the lead of the field right there? Will Versify pit? Will Frankus pit? It's gonna be interesting to see how this will pan out.
In my opinion, I think Aladini should pit because he can remove his 5 seconds, and of course, brand new softs. He's got the pace, so I think it will be tactical for him to go into the pits. Don't know about the NLR cars. I don't think they want to give up track position. Yeah, as I expected, Aladini goes into the pits. Let's see what the others will do. Zabi going into the pits. Gijs going into the pits. Will you have to stay out? Cario staying out.
We've got Saspi actually picking up a penalty right there, so it's everyone from P3. Actually, Cario staying out right there. He doesn't have a penalty, so that might be a very small play right there from the AZAC driver right there. Same for Lozarinho. Well, actually, he's got a penalty, so I'm not sure why he didn't pit right there. Supermax also stayed out. He doesn't have a penalty, so that could be a huge play for him as well. Resify doesn't have a penalty as well, so everyone without a penalty has got huge plays. And all the cars with the soft tires currently will have a huge advantage. They can just fully send it, save ERS, and just use those soft tires to full advantage right there. Of course, we had a rain period right there, so everyone has got 3 sets of soft tires, so we don't have to worry about if their tires are worn or fresh. They're all fresh tires here, so it's gonna be interesting to see how they all progress right there. It's been not the cleanest race, to say the least, but I'm not sure how these soft runners will approach this safety car restart with the limited time they have got left here. So yeah, let's see how they approach this safety car restart. How would you approach this safety car restart, Seep?
Well, first catch up to the safety car. That's part one of the restart. Then, yeah, let's say when you expect safety car to go in, that's the lap when you want to start get temperature into your tires by weaving around. And then, of course, when safety car goes in, because you're going so slow, it's not too easy to warm up your tires. So you want to do it really before. Yeah, when safety car goes in, you have to be really focused on the car who's in the lead. Yeah, when he goes, you should be prepared for when he goes, of course. And we see Sabi going into the pits again, I think to remove his 5 seconds. So he will catch up at the back of the grid. And also, I think we have to wait a long time before a lap catches up. So he might be in for like 1 or maybe even 2 laps of safety car.
This is actually not a bad play right there, as he actually didn't have a 3-second penalty right there. He does have 1 lap fresher tires right there, and he does have a penalty. And with the amount of drivers that does have a time penalty, you can really use that to full effect right there. Because 4, 6, yeah, 6 cars have penalties right now, so you can really just gain from that. And he does have the pace to overtake these cars. And of course he has the racecraft to make the overtake work. So it's going to be interesting to see where he will end up. But it will be a very tough restart with only 4 laps to go after this one.
Yeah, we can expect a very maybe even chaotic end to the race, but exciting one at least, because everyone in the top 5 is either on hards like Respify, other 4 people are on mediums, and then everyone behind them is on fresh softs. So yeah, fresh softs, as we know in this game, fresh tires are extremely overpowered. So we'll have to see what they can do with it. I think we'll be having a huge pace advantage over the guys in front of them. So at least we'll be in for exciting end of the race.
Totally, I'm really looking forward to the safety car restart. But everyone is going fully send for it. But they also have to be smart, because you can have the approach of oh, I'm going to go full send for it. But this is a practice race for a league race. You want to adapt to league racing conditions again. So you got to be smart about your moves, and when you want to make overtake work right there. As the safety car is coming in this lap right there. Um, it's again Resify leading the pack right there, taking a slow approach right here, and really taking his time as we involved with his front wing right there. So just taking his sweet time right there. Is he gonna go on after the final turn? We're bound to find out with Resify leading the pack for NLR with 4 laps to go, and he's gone after the second to last turn right there. As we start lap 23 with NLR leading the field with Resify leading the pace. That's good restart right there with Gijs straight making move work into turn 1 right there, but actually having to let him go through with Supermax going side by side right there, but didn't make the move stick, with actually both trying to make contact right there. Looks to be quite dirty at the moment. Actually Gijs on the curb right there, Mango track extending right there. What is going on right there? Actually Max picking up a penalty right now, so that's a bit of a disaster for him. This promotes Kairio up to P3 right there. Gijs, oh my goodness, look with the late move right there, but Gijs made the move stick down the inside up to P6 right now. Cars ahead also battling right there with RCR and ASAC battling for that P3 spot at the moment.
Watch out for Drizzy.
With Drizzy on the soft tires, is he gonna do a overtaking Cops corner? No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it at the moment. He's gonna brake. But he's got so much more grip on the soft tires. Going side by side, the Kaido leaving pretty much no room for him. And Drizzy thinks better of it, but this is great racing between those guys here. Drizzy thinks better of it and really wants to use our soft tires to full effect here. But HF1 unfortunately pick up a penalty for it. But these guys going side by side once again, and this promotes Drizzy up to P3. And the soft tires has got so much more grip right there. And he's got to move stick right there. Can he now catch up to Frankis right there? Of course, Frankis has got a 3-second penalty right there, so he will probably gain position as well if he stays within the 3-second window. And can he clear ASAC Kairio right now? Because if he stays within the 1-second window, then he will have all these cars who are battling for position right now catch up back to him, which is not what he wants, of course.
Yeah, Drizzy has had a very good lap. I think he got like 5 cars in 1 lap. He was behind 2 soft runners before the safety car restart, and he managed to overtake them in between BFK as well. Gijs and I don't know who the other, what was it, Loke, who is battling with? I don't know, but he at least overtook 2 cars there, and of course two medium runners afterwards as well, which is now P3, and he will be hunting down for the lead right now.
As AJ Wu unfortunately had to spin right there, disaster for day for IRT right here with AJ Wu now down to P13. Saspi is not being able to make the move work right there, actually spinning in Cop's corner right there. And this pit stop trying to remove the 5-second penalty has really not worked out for him, as he's now down to P13 right there. Not sure what happened right there, but it didn't look fun to say the least right there. But Gijs looks like it's cleared Kairio a bit, so that will leave P6, P7, P8, P9 all to battle for that P6 spot right now, as they all have time penalties right there. Actually, Frankis has picked up the lead right there. Oh, contact between Aladi and another RCR drive, so it won't be good vibes between all the RCR drivers right there. As Alindi was actually had a decent race right there, has already spun out down to P11 right there, so a bit of a disaster for him right there, as he did make his pit stop to serve the 5-second penalty, and that proved to be his downfall for this race right here at least. As we see now on board with Drizzy right there, he's really close to the back of Resify and actually make the move stick right now, but oh my goodness, what a move right there!
Oh, that's a good move.
What a move right there from Drizzy. It goes a bit wide there, and that promotes Resify back of the lead right now. But Drizzy's got so much more grip and takes the lead of the NLR car over the NLR cars. But still, they're still not done battling right there. And Drizzy and Resify still going side by side right there. And Resify regaining the lead right there. But what kind of battling was that? It was incredible racing right there, and this promo causes Gijs to go close up as well, but contact between the cars right there. I'm losing my voice right now. I don't even know what to say right now, but this battling has been incredible right now. And Drizzy's got earbuds as we the second final lap. A car track is standing right there, and Drizzy using the DRS right there, but not making the move stick. He is thinking better of it as we are about to enter the final lap.
Yeah, it has been crazy last few laps at least. Right now it seems to be like between Raspberry, Drizzy and Gijs who are on the lead and have no penalties. Of course, Drizzy and Gijs having the soft tires and they will be going for it later into the race. Of course, two NLR drivers here, so they'll maybe working together to stop Drizzy, but I don't know, we have to see. Drizzy's very close behind Raspberry. He might have a goer into this corner, otherwise guys might want to try and overtake him. Raspberry only having 11% ERS. Drizzy has 25%, so he has got a little bit of advantage on ERS. And is he going for it? Yeah, he's going down the inside. I will be getting the move done, and we're trying to pull away before the next race, so we can have a clear lead before going over the line.
And we're dominating this race right there, but it looks like Drizzy with the drift right there, in Lovefield right there, and that will see Resify now going side by side with him. Once again, it looks like Resify will keep the lead, but actually Rover making contact with each other right there, and that goes drift spin out right there, down to P8 right there, and that promotes NLR back to first, second, and third and fourth again as Mango's came out of nothing right there to regain the lead right there, and both drivers make a side by side right there, and it looked like the rest of it just turned in slightly too early there. It was his corner maybe, he was ahead into coming into the corner right there, but just couldn't make it stick right there. As actually rest of us go for the switchback right now, both NLR cars going side by side, they're first, second and third and fourth, so they don't have to risk anything right there, but they're still battling massively right there, with Supermax now spinning as well, but it is NLR Information taking a first, second, third and fourth right here on track right there with actually ASAC lap all of a sudden without a penalty up to P3 right there. The car was pretty much a ghost car all session right there. Managed to be promoted up to P3 right there. Incredible ending right there. Maybe not the cleanest amount of driving, but it was certainly was a very interesting Grand Prix right there. Very interesting Grand Prix right there. What do you think of that, Seep, for that being your first commentary?
Yeah, it was a very good scenario yeah, in the race. Of course, made up for a lot of battles. Although I can say it could have been a little bit cleaner, in my opinion. A lot of contact and yeah, just I think desperation to get past people. Yeah, Jersey, unlucky for him. I think he had the win in the bag there. If he didn't have that overstay moment out of how the corner is called, I think it's what is it? Love? No, it's not. Is it Lovefield? I think it's Lovefield.
I think it's Lovefield, yeah.
Yeah, Lovefield. So yeah, I think yeah, unfortunately for him. But yeah, NLR show very good pace today. That's of course the main point of doing these races. You want to show your pace to everyone and what you can do. And of course, when they are prepared for the actual league races, they'll perform there as well, of course.
I couldn't agree more with you there. The battling may have been a bit rumbustious to say the least, but we certainly saw a good Grand Prix with two safe car restarts right there, and some internal battling right there with NLR spinning each other out and RCR making contact with each other right there. So that was certainly an interesting Grand Prix. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We enjoyed that race for sure, and hopefully we'll see you guys back for the next one. See you guys.